Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Golden Boy Promotions says Billy Joe Saunders is definitely a September option for Canelo. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Shout out to boxingnewsonline.net. Link is in the description. Exclusive interview they have over there with Eric Gomez, president of Golden Boy, and he says Canelo's fighting in September with or without Golovkin. Now I'm going to read some quotes, give my thoughts. They said, Eric Gomez says, after the hearing, we sent Triple G's team a contract with terms that were agreed on before. Then they came back with terms that are impossible for us to accept. It's clear that he doesn't want to fight Canelo. The best way to get out of a fight is to make ridiculous terms. Canelo will fight in September, right? And he told boxingnewsonline.net, Canelo's ready to fight. He wants to fight. He wants to get back in the ring. He's going to fight in September. If it's not Golovkin, then he'll go after someone else. Golovkin is the fight that Canelo wants. We made that very clear. But he says they have ridiculous terms, so they're not going to beg Golovkin. And with or without Golovkin, they'll fight someone. A lot of people speculated that Billy Joe Saunders, his masterful performance over David Lemieux on a Golden Boy card, keep in mind, was going to persuade Canelo to go against fighting someone like Billy Joe because he looked crafty, tricky, used his footwork, things that have given Canelo issue in the past. Eric Gomez tells Boxing News Online, no, not at all. Canelo's willing to fight Billy Joe Saunders, no problem. He has no problem fighting Billy Joe Saunders. We can fight. He can fight Danny Jacobs. There's a number of guys out there that Canelo can fight. We cannot force Golovkin in the ring. We cannot force him in the ring. But we made it very clear that that's the fight we want. We are talking to other promoters. There's Danny Jacobs, Billy Joe Saunders, CHARLO, Gary O'Sullivan, and even David Lemieux. Link in the description. And let me know what you guys think. My thoughts, I'm okay with it. Canelo, Triple G, I think they have unfinished business. They should fight. However, I'm not trying to. We already went through a lot with Golovkin fighting Saunders as a result of Canelo failing 2 drug tests, and it's just been a lot of drama, like a emotional roller coaster. So I don't really even care if this fight happens in September or not, to be honest. Just because there's so many great fights, why focus on all this politics and bullshit? Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders, Danny Jacobs, CHARLO, that actually sounds really good to me. Triple G versus those same guys, Danny Jacobs rematch, CHARLO obviously, or Billy Joe Saunders, that sounds like good fights for Triple G as well. Or Demetrius Andrade, or Derevyanchenko, that'll satisfy a mandatory, could be a good fight, things like that. One thing that is a little bit scary from what Eric Gomez and Golden Boy said is he says there's Jacobs, Saunders, CHARLO, Gary Spike O'Sullivan, and even David Lemieux. Those last two, not a big fan. Me personally, I don't want to see Canelo fight a guy that lost to Chris Eubank Jr. by stoppage and lost to another guy that is quote-unquote an option, Billy Joe Saunders. And O'Sullivan is Saunders' sparring partner, or he has been in the past. And I damn sure don't want to see Canelo versus David Lemieux. David Lemieux couldn't make weight in his last fight. It went the distance, if I'm not mistaken. In addition, he just got schooled up by Billy Joe Saunders. So at one point, that would have been a good fight. Like maybe when David Lemieux fought on the Canelo card, when Canelo fought Chavez Jr. and David Lemieux was fighting, that would have been good maybe back then. Because it was Canelo's first fight over 160. You know what I mean? So that same catch weight or at 160, that would have been good. But lots changed, and David Lemieux, I mean, he hasn't had like an elite win in some time. Like you put him in with Golovkin, he lost by stoppage. You put him in with Rubio, he lost by stoppage. You put him in with Billy Joe Saunders, he lost. He didn't get stopped, but he definitely lost. You know what I mean? So I don't really like his name being thrown in the hat personally, because I don't think that's the best fight out there for Canelo. And unfortunately, those are like easy fights to make because they both are represented by Golden Boy, Spike O'Sullivan, and LEMIEUX. So they may even go this way, but I definitely prefer Jamal Charlo, Saunders, or Jacob. So I personally think, especially Canelo has some ground to make up after failing 2 drug tests. I think it would be more advantageous. He'll get a lot more respect for fans if he were to take the first 3 fights, you know what I mean, Saunders, Jacobs, or Charlo, because most boxing fans could agree that those are more dangerous fights, bigger names, etc. So we'll see what they decide. I've already stated my opinion on Triple G now wanting 50-50. Those are the ridiculous demands that Golden Boy is saying that it's impossible for us to accept. And I understand where they're coming from. I don't see in what world Triple G thinks he would get 50-50. Not much has changed. And if you're willing to accept the same terms, like basically they sent you the same contract that you agreed to from May and switched the date and you know what I mean, maybe a couple details, and now you're saying it's not good. You just went through so much pain and suffering or some shit that you feel you're worth more. But why were you worth 35% in May? That's my question. That's my question to Tom Loeffler. Why did you agree for your fighter to get 35% in May, and he had the same amount of belts? He had pretty much the same resume, because no one really includes the Vanes Martirosyan knockout as some triumphant thing, since it wasn't a middleweight and it wasn't even an active fighter who had been proven at middleweight. So why was Golovkin, that's a basic question, why was he worth 35% and you signed on the dotted line, the fight was announced, but now he's worth more? The only thing I could think of is because Canelo failed a drug test. But again, unfortunately, despite what your feelings are about the failed drug test, that doesn't prove anything in terms of star power. Like Canelo, he's still a bankable star. You know what I mean? He's still going to sell tickets whether you like it or not. So yeah, it's not right that he failed the drug test. It lends questions in the fans' mind. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change his star power. It doesn't change the bloodlust that boxing fans are looking out for. It doesn't change that Canelo is an exciting fighter to watch. His fan base, especially the girls and shit, you think the girls are going to be like, oh no, he was on clenbuterol, I'll never watch him again. You know what I'm saying? That's just not really what's going to happen. You look at even like guys like Antonio Margarito. He don't have no tainted meat excuse. His gloves were loaded and it got busted out. He served a suspension, and guess what? He came back for a money fight with Pacquiao. 50,000 people were in Texas. So people got over that shit real quick. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, had Cotto's face looking like period blood. You know what I'm saying? And it was there's no substitute. You can't say, oh, I ate meat, I went to Togo's so my gloves were loaded. You can't say that. Canelo can at least hang on to that. Whether he was really cheating or not, he can at least say it was tainted meat, and that's actually a thing. Margarito had no excuse and still came back after suspension and sold out 50,000 in Texas with Pacquiao. You could say most of the fans were Pacquiao or whatever bullshit, but bottom line is he got a good payday and that many people showed up for that fight. So again, whether you like Canelo or not, his star power is not ultimately badly affected to the point where nobody's going to watch him fight. End of. Because even after he lost to Mayweather, he still had fans. Still was on. His first fight after a loss to Mayweather was on pay-per-view with Angulo, El Perro Angulo. And then he fought Lara on pay-per-view. And then he's been on pay-per-view pretty much ever since, except for maybe the Kirkland fight the week after Mayweather-Pacquiao. See, I know my boxing. Let me know what you guys think. Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo might fight. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.